Hi, this is Carlos Cousins, and the following problem solving and data analysis question is a bit tricky because you have to convert between miles and kilometers over and over, though they do give you the formula they want you to use here. They want you to think of 1 kilometer being 0.62 miles, even though this is an approximation. So keeping that in mind, let's go ahead and see which answer choice makes the most sense. The average speed of plane 1 is higher than the average speed of plane 2 by approximately 50 miles per hour. Well, we can't tell because the speed of plane 2 is in kilometers per hour, so we're going to have to convert. Now they're telling us that for every 1 kilometer, we can set this up as a ratio, we have 0.62 miles. And we want to keep this relationship here for 925 kilometers being, I guess, the speed, the amount of kilometers for a certain amount of miles that we are missing here. So what we want to do is we're going to multiply 0.62 times 925 across and then divide by 1. Well, since we're dividing by 1 for a cross multiplication here, this is the same as just multiplying 0.62 times 925. And this should give us how many miles there are. Now, that should evaluate to somewhere around 574.77, rounded up a little bit. And what we see then is that actually the speed of plane 2 is greater than the speed of plane 1. So it's not that the average speed of plane 1 is higher. We can get rid of answer choice A. Answer choice B says the average speed of plane 1 is lower than the average speed of plane 2 by approximately 50 miles. Now, sure, the average speed of plane 2 is greater. Now, is that by about 50 miles? So 525 plus 50 would be 575. And here we've got 574.77. Sure, if we round to the nearest 1, that would be about 575 miles per hour. So this seems like a very good answer. It has to be the right answer because it's true. Let's go ahead and check out what the other two answer choices say. The average speed of plane 1 is lower than the average speed of plane 2 by approximately 80 miles. Well, no, if it was 80, it would be 595, and we've got 575, about 574.77. So answer choice C doesn't make sense. And the last answer choice says the average speed of plane 1 is higher. Again, we saw that it wasn't, than the average speed of plane 2 by approximately 50 kilometers per hour. Now that would require you, if you actually thought that was the case, if we hadn't turned this into miles, to figure out what the speed in kilometers for plane 1 is. You could do a very similar exercise. I think it turns out to be around 845 kilometers per hour, but still that is less than 925. So that's why answer choice D does not make sense. I hope that helped with this problem. And happy prepping.